know what you're talking about, so I will follow your instructions. Like that?
Wait, Stanley said to the bucket. Can we go back up? When I was pressing those keypad buttons, there was something very intriguing about the number 3. I want to go back so I can try pressing the number 3 again. The bucket said nothing.
Bye, jump in and say hello. Hope you enjoy the stream. Also, live, have fun. Thank you, Diablo. Thank you for the 100 bits as well. W Diablo. And as usual, different with and without the bucket. Oh, cool.
Here we are, said Stanley. Now I'm going to try out that number 3 button. He took the bucket over to the keypad and began absolutely slamming on the number 3 over and over and over. Wow, he said. The number 3 is such a special button. I'm having the time of my life. Stanley looked expectantly at the bucket, but the bucket remained silent. This was a shock to Stanley, who had always felt such a connection with the bucket. How was this not as exciting to the bucket as it was to him? Once Stanley had had enough of the number 3, he got back in the elevator.
Yep, Stanley's so silly. What is it? What a goober. Different with and without the bucket. So I have to go back down and then back up again.
Perhaps the bucket had missed something. Perhaps it had not seen how much joy Stanley got from slamming the number 3 repeatedly.
Maybe. Okay. Sorry, Okay, again.
No, said Stanley to the bucket. You can't go on yet. Not till you understand how much the number 3 means to me. You and I have been through so much together, and I just want you to see what I see. Feel the happiness I feel. He smiled at the bucket, and the bucket said nothing.
Elle being wide awake at 3:30 in the morning. Aww. Well, it happens.
Here we go, said Stanley. This time I'll really show you. He ran to the number 3 and began to wail on it like a musician on a beloved instrument, weaving a concerto of truth and passion. He wielded the number 3 like a fine artist would wield a paintbrush. He told stories through the number 3, stories of his dreams and hopes and fears, and the whole time he looked to his bucket for a reaction of some kind. Anything to let him know that the bucket appreciated what he was doing. The bucket conveyed absolutely nothing at all, only silence. Crushed by a wave of dejection, Stanley returned to the elevator.
As you've always said,
Stanley and the bucket were so close. They'd always been there for one another.
Aww.
Why suddenly could the bucket not connect with this passion of Stanley's? The question caused Stanley to ruminate the whole way down the elevator. He knew that there must be a way to get through to the bucket, to communicate fully with his dear friend. Surely there was a solution, mustn't there be?
Oh no. Did I do it too many times?
Said Stanley. I know what to do. I know how to fully express this feeling in my heart. He decided right then and there that he would hold a press conference where he would speak to the public on all matters relating to pressing the number 3 over and over. He would elaborate fully on what the number 3 meant to him and why he felt so alive when pressing it. Then the bucket would be able to see his joy through the eyes of others. It would get to see the world react to this discovery of Stanley's. And it would be through the public eye that the bucket would finally understand Stanley's work. For months, he advertised and marketed his press conference,
World's
building
healthiest
excitement
human
around it, developing and rehearsing it, until it couldn't be refined a single measure further. When the big day arrived, Stanley
is it
was
going like
as
this?
prepared as he'd ever been for anything in his life.
Stanley live on stage. He's just going to talk about the number 3. He's such an interesting fellow. Hey, Rottweiler. All eyes on Stanley. Why is he keep going like this? He's just confused. World peace, baby. That's not that. The storyteller, Stanley reveals all in new book. Okay, it looks like AI generated there. I kind of like this poster better. All eyes on Stanley. Stanley be like 2020 stacking.
This was it. One last chance to win the bucket over.
Okay, 3.
One opportunity to
3.
share a true connection with a loved one.
3. We can do this. 2020 snacking. Congrats, Stanley. Remember where you came from, your coworkers. I love my coworkers so much. Remember where you came from. All eyes on Stanley. To stage. Okay. Yeah, it does say to the stage this way. Remember where you came from. 427. I'm good. I'm just enjoying this game a lot. How are you, Rottweiler?
There was no one here. Nobody had come to the press conference to hear Stanley speak, to listen to him talk about what it really means to press the number 3 on a keypad over and over. He was unloved, uninteresting. He was a failure. And in that moment, Stanley knew that the bucket would never again take him seriously.
I'd come to the
There would be no
press
connection,
conference.
no deeper understanding. The bucket merely sat there in his arms, indifferent. And so it began that slowly, over many years, the two of them grew
Never-ending
more and more
trouble.
distant. They spoke less and less,
Are we
neither
the
wishing to
bucket
state the
breaking up?
obvious, that any sense of real respect between them had eroded since that day at the press conference. There would be no more games, no more long conversations about passion and pursuit, only a silence that consumed the space between friends.
Sad.
And Stanley, having for once in his life discovered the warmth and comfort of true companionship, was cast back into the unremarkable normalcy of loneliness.
Can't stop crying. That was actually one of the sadder moments. That was touching. I like that ending a lot. Would travel across the world on foot to see Stanley. Like, the number 3 is so important to him. El Reporters who didn't show up. He had posters and everything. 3. Is that our fate too? Yep, favorite bucket it is. It's fate with all buckets. Okay, so everyone's telling me to press, you know what, I may have to go press the other computers first before I do my own.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself and constantly needed support and guidance from others, so the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him.
As Stanley lifted his bucket, he felt a connection to all buckets everywhere. This adventure, he decided, was for all of them.
Nice. W bucket, I guess we still have it.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Oh wait, but we can't do it again with the bucket because we have to do a different ending with the bucket. I mean, what?
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find her. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked
think I have to
upstairs
drop
to
it,
the boss's
actually.
office.
I think I'm up again. Really like the bucket. Yeah. And I like the number 3. Okay. Now what was I gonna do? Oh yeah, we can't pick up the bucket this
Stanley
time.
had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped very much that it was.
Is there any input I'm missing, by the way? Just if I'm gonna be consistent. Imagine 3 buckets. I know, right? I wish. I can only have arms
When
for
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I would go bananas if there were 3 buckets, yeah.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Quelle surprise.
But I didn't even get to press my numbers. He's so done with it. Well, I think I'm gonna go up again. Sorry, narrator. But without the bucket this time.
Whoops. Nope. Never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question.
Narration's
I
pretty
just
wild.
can't wait to find out.
So funny.
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated.
We live in a
It's
world
that keen
with
eye
at
for
least 4
storytelling
buckets in
that you
it.
have.
That would make
An
me very happy.
incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow. I'm bolted to the edge of my seat.
Alright, let's go back down and then back up. Hey, Gray.
Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this?
Slay. You already know what I'm gonna do. Go up.
Did you think we were going to go forward down the spooky corridor? No. It's time once again to go back up in the elevator. I can't even begin to grapple with what might be up there. Is it the boss's office again? Or what if it's the boss's office this time? The suspense is killing me.
Aw. I thought it was gonna be like another, like, I wanna do another speech. Booms is back. I liked giving a speech, and like, there was like Stanley posters.
Oh my god. It's the boss's office. This absolutely changes everything for me. Give me a timeout here for a minute while I process this.
Such a... I had your headphones in while lurking, and that was so sad. Oh my gosh, yes, with the 3.
Okay, I'm ready.
The
I'm
speech,
prepared to embrace this
It's so
stunning
good, though.
revelation and to move forward with... No! No, wait! No! I need more time to process.
Hoping he'd say Stunny with the funny. I don't think the narrator never actually said that. Used to have this drinking bird, Sarah, that's so funny. Is it supposed to drink? Like, what is the point of it? Is it just like a gimmick, or?
All right. I have fully come to terms with it. I have made space in my worldview for this astonishing new reality. As before, I turn to your expert eye for gripping narrative, Master Stanley.
Alright, one more time, and I think we got him. Wait, Lara had the bird too? What the heck?
Of course.
Don't
Going back
something's
down
like
in
that
the
dip the
elevator.
tea.
How did I not anticipate it?
Oh, that's
I mean,
cool.
Sure, now it's obvious,
That's
but
what
you have to
can't
understand
keep
that
dipping down
30
as long as
seconds
there's water
ago,
in the cup.
this kind of thing had never been
Makes you
attempted
think of
before.
the Alien
I had
movie,
no
the movie
frame of
Alien.
reference to even anticipate it. That's just how revelatory Stanley's decision-making is. A breath of fresh air in a landscape of storytelling that has grown stale and repetitive.
Again. I'm getting this ending, whether he likes it or not.
You know what?
No.
I just thought of something. Hold on, let's stop for a moment. Don't you realize? It's the anticipation, Stanley. You and I, we have no way of knowing what will be at the top of this elevator. But the suspense, the agony of waiting and anticipating and having to guess, that's the real thrill. Oh, I simply don't want to let that feeling go. It's so precious, so fleeting. Why don't we take this elevator ride nice
Alright, guys.
and slow?
Gonna have a beach day.
There
That's
we
awesome,
go.
Digger. Enjoy.
Isn't this so much more exciting? You know, Stanley, it seems like nowadays the only thing that audiences want is to be shocked as loudly and frequently as possible. They want big, explosive moments flung right in their faces from the very moment that things get started. But where's the tension? Where's the trust in the audience to build a slow and nuanced appreciation for the story, the characters? Why aren't we given time to imagine the surprises? To have to think and to
Oh, this
anticipate
game, right?
and then to marvel at the eventual reveal. This is storytelling, Stanley. What you and I are doing right now. This is the most exciting narrative to be developed in years. And it's really all because of you. You're the one who took this bold step of revisiting the exact same locations over and over. Truly, I mean it. This is unique and different. It's not like anything else out there. You see, I want stories that surprise me, Stanley. I want to have to think. I want to be engaged and not pandered to. We're being fed such unimaginative drivel all the time, and we all know it, which is why we're so starved for content that makes us feel sharp and vital and alive. That's why people like you so much, Stanley. Because you're not afraid to spit in the face of tradition. You're a role model, you know? People look up to you.
Game
Which
is
is why,
filling itself.
though I didn't know when to spring this on you, but, well, I've gathered a little press conference for you so that you can talk about your work and your storytelling and
I
your
knew there was gonna
life.
be another press
Yes, I
conference.
know you're not much for the public eye, but I thought it would especially mean a lot to the people
Being deep
who have
is
been
so
following
crazy.
you from the beginning.
Yeah.
They really look up to you, Stanley. I don't know if you realize the impact you have on them. This is the kind of gesture that might leave a tremendous impact on them for the better. Oh, good, we're here.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Okay, the room where we're holding the press conference should be just around the corner here somewhere.
Again. Except, I mean, of course, it'll be different content. All eyes on Stanley. Dunny with the funny. Stanley. Alright, guys, let's hope people show up this time. Can people please show up this time, please?
Yes, here it is, just through this door.
Show up. World's first sentient machine. Ooh, that's a fun one.
All right, are you ready? I've told them you're going to speak a little bit about the nature of surprise in storytelling and what it means to craft a
No, number
truly
three?
unpredictable narrative. Oh, don't worry, you'll do great. Just be yourself and speak from the heart. I'm really
does
proud
it
of you,
say?
Stanley.
An unforgiving
Okay,
account.
it looks like they're
of
ready
ups
for you.
As well
Go
as
get 'em.
downs. Congratulations, Stanley. Remember where you came from, your coworkers. Yes. Break a leg. Champ, your boss. Stanley, me, dad, age 6. Story. Yes. Alright. I think we're ready. Oh, last time it had a little corridor that way. That went to Mars. Let's go, everybody. Use a W. Not expecting that. I didn't expect it either. Wait, what did that say?
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He
Yeah, it's
hoped it was.
beautifully.
He hoped very much that it was.